Everyone, and welcome to our Premier League review show on Football Talk Podcast. My name is Ozzie, and I'm your host for today's show. Another jam-packed week in the Premier League. Liverpool come from behind to defeat Southampton. Arsenal managed to secure a point against the Red Devils, and Forest continued their great home form as they beat Man City. So let's begin the show from Anfield as we review the match between Liverpool versus Southampton. Liverpool managed to get the win. Apologies. Liverpool managed to get the win against the Saints. There was a slight scare in the first half. Liverpool started the game very flat and played with no tempo. Let's be honest, the first half was quite lackluster. But because of that, Southampton took advantage and grabbed the goal just before halftime. The goal was scored by a small one, poor defending from Liverpool. But Arsenal did not mess about. He made three substitutions at halftime that involved Harvey Elliott, Andy Robertson, and Pallister coming onto the pitch, and they made all the impact that was needed and completely changed the game for the Reds. Darwin Núñez got the equaliser with an instinctive finish. Great play from Diaz on that left-hand side. Then, literally a minute later, Núñez is brought down in the box by Smallbone. Penalty awarded. Mohamed Salah steps up and converts it with ease. Mohamed Salah then gets another chance with a second penalty as Sugawara blatantly handballs inside the box. Mohamed Salah steps up, but this time goes the other way to score a brace. Overall, ended up being a comfortable win for Liverpool. We are now 15 points clear at the top, and we are also 6 points, or should I say 6 wins away from claiming our 20th title. What a time to be a Liverpool fan. Next fixture, Manchester United versus Arsenal. Bruno Fernandes opened the scoreline for Manchester United with a fantastic direct free kick. United applied plenty of pressure with Mazraoui and Xerxes going very close if it wasn't for the Arsenal keeper and David Raya denying them. But Arsenal did get the equaliser as Declan Rice hits a long shot from distance, curling into the corner. Judging by the celebration, you'd think that they had scored the match winner. But United were the team that almost got the match winner. But if it wasn't for a double save from Raya, the scoreline would have been different. For me, the highlight of this fixture had nothing to do with the actual match. It was Arteta's post-match interview where he was asked about not signing a striker and is 15 points gap too much for Arsenal now? The sore loser couldn't face the questions and tried to duck out. This is the same guy that was saying he would not give up the title race over his dead body. Or if I was Mikel Pulis, I'd forget about the title race because that ship has sailed and the Premier League trophy is heading over to the docks at Liverpool. What Arsenal need to focus on is making sure they finish in second place or even the top four, as the next team that we're about to discuss were victorious over the weekend and they're only 4 points behind. But before we get into that, there's something I need to express, and it's slightly off topic. I'm sure everyone has seen the videos circulating online with regards to Saeed and Robbie doing an interview, and some guy named Julian, who represents AFTV, um, came in front of the camera and started pointing at Saeed's Free Palestine badge, saying Robbie shouldn't be doing an interview with Saeed whilst he was wearing that badge. Now, firstly, big up to Saeed for addressing it straight away and also keeping his composure because if I'm honest, I probably would have lost it. Watching that clip really pissed me off. But what I find alarming about the footage is actually the reaction from Robbie. When Julian asked Robbie the question, Robbie chuckled and said, he doesn't like Palestine stuff. Like thousands of people getting killed on a daily basis is some kind of joke. This is not a light-hearted matter. This is real life. I found Robbie's reaction very ignorant and for me shows a lack of respect for the Palestinian people who are going through hell on earth right now. But unfortunately, we already know his history with another content creator named Mohammed Haidar, who was dispelled from AFTV for his stance on Palestine. And look, guys, you already know my stance, as I have a Free Palestine labeled on every show that I do. Now, with regards to this Julian fella, it's Ramadan, so I'm trying to keep my composure and not speak too much about it because it will probably boil my blood. Who the hell are you to tell anyone what and what not to wear on their channel? Everyone is entitled to express themselves, whether they wear a badge, whether they wave a flag or wear a scarf that that represents Palestine, which is the kufaya. It's a free country. So watch how you address people next time, because one day you'll come across the wrong person and will feel the consequences. But let's move on and discuss the next match, and that is Nottingham Forest versus Man City. Now, what a monumental win for Nottingham Forest as they beat current champions Man City. This game was a hard fought battle as Man City produced a number of attacks to try and break the deadlock. Haaland was very close to scoring, but unfortunately, his effort was dragged wide. January signing Nico Gonzalez was very close with a long shot that hits the outside of the post. Forest did the same thing as well, as Hudson Ozoi cuts inside and hits a curling shot that was saved by Edison, but onto the post. Fantastic save from the Brazilian keeper. But moments later, Hudson Odoi got his reward with the match winner. Some question marks over Edison's participation there, as he was quite easily beaten in that near post. But overall, a huge win for Forest. So much so, you had the manager, Nuno Santos, Espirito, skanking in the changing room. The vibes are different in the Forest changing room. And look, rightly so, as they're having a very special season right now. Next fixture, Chelsea versus Leicester City. Back-to-back wins for Chelsea as they beat Leicester City 1-0 at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea had a chance to open a score sheet as they were awarded a penalty very early on. Cole Palmer steps up, but was denied by Hermansen, who produces a fantastic save. But in the second half, it was a long distance strike from Cucurella out of all the players, who hit the bottom corner to give Chelsea the lead and ends up scoring the match winner. So overall, a great win for Chelsea, who are now in fourth place, only 2 points behind third and 6 points behind second place. So Chelsea are certainly applying pressure with regards to finishing in the top four. Now, let's speak about Leicester City. Since the win against Tottenham in January, they've not won in the last 5 games. It's looking bleak for the Foxes, let's be honest. I really can't see how they get out of this one. And it looks like they're destined to be in the Championship next season. Next fixture, Tottenham versus Bournemouth. Speaking of Tottenham as well, they pretty much had to fight back to claim a point against a very tough Bournemouth team. Tavernier opened the scoreline with a great sliding finish, but before that, a sublime pass from Lille for target. Milos Kerkez with the assist, and Kerkez was at it again as he passes the ball to Kluivert, who hits the through ball uh, to who was it? To Ivan Nilsson, and then he applies a nice thick finish to make it 2-0. But Tottenham responded, and it was an outrageous goal from Sarr, who shot from the right side of the pitch and pretty much hit over the keeper. 2-1 to Spurs. But then later on in the game, Son was brought down in the box by Kepa, so a penalty was awarded. Son steps up and hits the back of the net to help his team claim a very important point. Now, in terms of other games, we had Brentford versus Aston Villa. Unfortunately for Brentford, it was one of their old boys that came back to haunt them as Ollie Watkins scores the match winner to grab a win for Villa. The goal came from the left channel as Watkins drives with the ball, hits a low shot towards goal, gets a slight deflection that ends up going underneath the keeper's legs. So unfortunately with that moment, but that win helps Villa move up to 8th place in the league table. Next fixture, Palace versus Ipswich Town. Palace are in rich vein of form right now as they have just secured 3 wins on the bounce thanks to a late winner from Ismail Assar. Lovely turn as he drives inside the box and dinks the ball over the keeper to grab the match winner. Palace are in more of a respectable position now in the league in 11th place. Next fixture, Wolves versus Everton. It was a goal apiece at the Molineux as both teams had to settle for a point. Harrison opens the scoreline for Everton with a deflected shot And then we next see scores just before halftime with a sliding finish for Wolves. Great assist from Bellegarde. On to the next fixture. Brighton versus Fulham. Brighton record 4 wins on the bounce as they beat Fulham at the Emirates Stadium. So let's go through the goals. Fulham open the scoreline with Jimenez hitting the back of the net. Lovely cross from Iwobi on that right hand side. But great chest control for Jimenez, who then brings the ball down and hits a nice left foot volley towards that near post. Van Heck then equalises for Brighton with a bullet header posting in. Unfortunately for Fulham, Brighton got a late penalty as João Pedro was fouled in the box. Thought he was quite lucky to get that decision. It wasn't a clean foul, but I guess the letter of the law, it was a foul and a penalty was awarded. João Pedro steps up and slots it into the corner to score the winning goal for Brighton. And the last fixture of Matchweek 28, and it was also tonight's fixture, and that was West Ham versus Newcastle. Newcastle were able to grab a second half goal courtesy of Bruno Gomes. The winning goal came from Harvey Barnes' cross from that left hand side. Bruno Gomes applies a sliding finish to hit it past the keeper Ariola, who had a great game and ended up producing a crazy save moments before. But Newcastle continued their push for top four as they are currently in sixth place with joint points with Man City. So not too far off, and the battle continues for that top four. And that is it in terms of our Match Week 28 review. Unfortunately, I'm unable to present the FPL Manager of the Week as the scores haven't been totaled up right now. So maybe that's something I can present in the next show. But before we close the show, we can quickly present the fixtures of Match Week 29, and I'll give you my predictions of those games coming up. So let's start with the first fixture. So we've got Everton versus West Ham. This is 3 o'clock kickoff, so no midday kickoff this weekend. In terms of Everton West Ham, I'm expecting West Ham to nick a win here, so I'm going for a 2-1 victory. Ipswich Town versus Nottingham Forest. I'm expecting Forest to win as well. So it's going to be another away win. I think Forest will win 2-0. Man City versus Brighton. Brighton 4 wins on a bounce. City just lost to Forest this week. I'm going to go for a draw. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw at the Etihad. Southampton versus Wolves. Southampton haven't been in great form. I'm going to give the win to Wolves. I think it's going to be 1-0 to the away team. And then we have Bournemouth versus Brentford. I have to give it to Bournemouth. They've been in great form and they're playing some good football in recent weeks as well. I'm going to go for a 3-1 win for the Cherries. And in terms of the Sunday fixtures, you've got Arsenal versus Chelsea. So big fixture there. I'm going to go for a draw. That's not me just trying to be cheeky because Arsenal are the closest rivals to my team, which is of course Liverpool. Um, I think Chelsea have picked up form. Arsenal haven't been their best, but I'm just giving that home advantage where maybe they'll be able to nick a point. So I'm going for a 1-1 draw. Then you've got Fulham versus Spurs. I'm going to go for a home win. I think Fulham might just nick it with a 1-0 result. And the final fixture of match week 29, Leicester City versus Manchester United. Leicester City have been absolutely awful in the last few weeks. 5 losses on the bounce. So I'm going to go for a surprise away win. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win for Manchester United. As you probably noticed, no Newcastle or Liverpool is because we have the Carabao Cup final taking place this Sunday, which of course I'll be covering. So make sure to look out for that. And that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Now, in terms of upcoming content this week, I'll be doing a match preview of Liverpool versus PSG in about 10 minutes or so. So make sure to tune in for that after the show concludes. And then tomorrow, I'll be doing the live watch along plus a match reaction show. And then on Thursday night, I'll be doing a match preview of the Carabao Cup final between Newcastle versus Liverpool. And then on Sunday, hopefully, if everything goes to plan, I'll be doing a live watch along for that fixture and also a match reaction on Sunday. So lots to look forward to. So make sure you hit that notification bell so you know what time I'm going live. And that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care, stay safe, and I hope to speak with you all very, very soon. Goodbye.